Hey, this is Cameron, and welcome to the practice log. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, well, if this is your first practice log, let me tell you how it goes. I'm gonna make some small talk with you. Then I'm gonna answer some comment questions. We can call that big talk, sort of the opposite of small talk. We're gonna get more in depth. Sorry, I'm coming out the gate with these zingers right now. Big talk? You ever heard of that one? It's called big talk. And then, this is a practice log, so I'm gonna play something for you on the guitar, and then we're all gonna go home. And that's how this goes, and that's how it's gonna go forever and ever. Alright, another practice log. How's your practice coming along? Is it alright? My practice has been good. This is the small talk, by the way. I'm gonna play Villa-Lobos 997, just the first half of the Prelude, which I know you've heard the first half a lot, but I'm doing it a little bit different than I have been before. I've been working a lot with planting. I feel like planting is one of those things on guitar, which, like, there are many schools of thought with how to play classical guitar, of course. Some people, I'm sure, hate planting, and, like, you should never have to plant. Keeping your hand free is, like, how you'll, like, keep tension away. I've never been trained like that, though. Planting has always been a huge part of my playing, even when I play scales. Like, let me actually get my guitar really quick. If you've been diligently watching, you guys already know this, but when I play scales, if you watch my thumb, it follows behind. That's just how I was taught. I don't know, it's most comfortable. And something that's really cool about being in grad school that's been sort of enlightening me about my own playing is that I'm sort of forced to perform at least once a week. And that's like pretty standard stuff. You have a master class when you're in school, and that's the performance studio class, basically. But even beyond that, the grad students and I have set up sort of a knockoff master class that happens halfway through the week. And performing twice a week, it has really been illuminating about where I build up tension and why I build up tension. And I find a big thing that makes my hand automatically tense, especially with pieces like the Morel Sonatina, which I'll be playing in masterclass, by the way. I got the approval from my teacher, so that's pretty sweet. Check out my last video that has the word AI in it if you want to see me play the Morel Sonatina, of course. That's not happening today. But whenever my fingers are floating and I have to just come down and reach to the strings, my hands tense up so much. And if I can find a place to mute, like as in every measure, I write in like where my thumb can go, what string is free for my thumb to just sit on, or what string am I going to play next with my thumb, that is like huge. And that's what I've been doing with Villa-Lobos 997. Whenever I play thumb, I look at the next note in the next measure, and I'll just go ahead and plant right after playing, like bum, plant, and then keep playing. And getting that worked out for the entire piece, I'm basically always secure on the guitar. And I think I'm finding that that's kind of what you need to be able to play this really hard music under the most pressure. You need to build in safety nets, basically. Every single measure. There can be no place where you feel uncomfortable. And that's an easy trap to fall into, I think, especially when you don't have a teacher, especially when you're unsure, like, what even standards you want to play guitar at. You kind of just have your pieces, and you play them how you play them, and they never really get any better, because these are the changes you have to make to actually make it better. You know, like after you've played guitar for 10 years or so, your hands probably have the ability to play pretty much anything. But what I'm finding now is that it's the finger choreography that determines if you can actually play it. You could even take Soar Opus 60. I bet you I could come up with a fingering with that where I would screw it up like every time. And then there are also fingerings you could come up with where you'd play it perfectly every time. It's the same piece of music. The choreography of the fingers is what makes it possible. So, something to think about. This isn't very good small talk. We're actually getting a little in depth here. But, of course, if you have any more questions about what exactly I'm doing, I'm happy to answer them in the next practice logs. I think we're okay to go ahead and jump into some comment questions now. Let's see what you guys got. Okay, we got some small ones here. First, this one's from Carter Hale 6227. Have you ever done a competition? No, I haven't done a competition, and I've been to a guitar competition that I didn't participate in, and I met a lot of really cool people there. That reminds me of a story that kind of blew my mind when I was taking lessons with Brandon Aker, that is. I'm sure you've heard of him. Which, I'll get to Brandon in a second, but I'll go ahead and tell you, when I went to this competition, the guitarists there were so confident and so like informed with the music that they were playing, and they could just whip it out seemingly without getting nervous, and they were just ready to compete. It really blew me away, and it really inspired me to like buckle down and like really figure out what exactly it is I'm doing here. Because at this time, this was like when I was just doing the practice logs really, and I was learning the Morel Sonatina and Villa-Lobos 1001. Like I could play them, but just not like how these people could. And what's cool is the more and more I'm hanging around with really good guitarists, and also like after taking lessons with Brandon and then starting my master's degree, working with like an actual professional guitarist, I really feel myself building up to that place to where I would feel pretty comfortable competing, and like I feel like I would like do all right, you know? So I'm going to, for sure. Like I would like to this year. There's a guitar competition that's hosted by the school I go to every year. Yeah, I'm going to compete in that faux show. Also, just to give you some metrics, I'm 27 right now, which is nearing the older age of competitive guitarists, which, like, why though? Like, it's like sports or something, right? Why don't you ever hear about like 60-year-olds doing competitions? Probably because they outgrew them, because they are kind of silly. Like, honestly, like, it's so not what music is about. It is thrilling though, just the idea of competition. I feel like that'd be fun. But yeah, what blew me away about Brandon was he was telling me this story. He didn't actually start playing classical guitar until he was 17, and then he did his first competition when he was 19, where he just practiced his booty off, especially like the last like whatever time before the competition, and he just won the thing. And like me hearing that at the time, I was probably like 26 or actually no, I was 27. Even when I was 25 and went to that competition, I like couldn't imagine beating everyone there. Like that's nuts. So yeah, Brandon, 2 years of practice, he wins his first competition. He's the real deal. He's the man. I'm sure you guys have never heard of him. He's really small. He's a small YouTuber. So in short, yes, I plan on competing. That's not what I'm gonna like judge my value off of, but I do really like the idea of just showing up and showing them what I got, and playing poorly or playing really well. I'll probably self-destruct the first time. That could be an interesting side quest for after the master's degree. Just go around competing for like a year or so. Vlog it. Do videos, make videos out of it. That's kind of like what bodybuilders do when they do bodybuilding competitions. They just like vlog the thing, and then that's the only like way to actually make money. Then you don't even have to win, and you just still make some money doing it, and it's fun. You get to travel a whole bunch. So that could be in my future, but I have a lot of work I have to do before that. I need to get really, really good, and I think I'm onto something with these new fingering things that my teacher has been talking to me about. Just give me 2 years. I think I will be a changed person in 2 years from now. You wait and see. You'll all see. I'm gonna change, and all of you are gonna feel it. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna stop making jokes too when I get that good. I'm gonna be above making jokes. I'm just gonna make really serious, boring videos. Not that my videos aren't boring. They certainly aren't serious though. Here we go. 7th Anubis 071. Any comments on Julian Bream? Man, has it been so long that Julian Bream is no longer in the Sorehands universe? He was the very first character. My channel popped off when I first reacted to the Julian Bream Beatle EV1001 Fugue Masterclass. I've actually reacted to it twice. I think I'm gonna react to it again, maybe when I start doing the Fugue again. Especially with the Chet Atkins documentary, like it really takes me back to watching the John Williams and Julian Bream stuff. Now, how do I actually feel about Julian Bream? He stretches the guitar like pretty much to its limits with his use of like tone color. I've heard a lot of people disagree with how far he goes with his tone color, like to a point to where he actually like might lose resonance, like with the Ponticello and stuff. Like once you're playing once you're playing like that, that is pretty ridiculous. Versus this Ponticello, you know. Because you'll hear that like in his recording sometimes. It's a bit much. He's definitely an artist though, and he's definitely really fun to listen to. That's sort of the duality, right? It's the Julian Bream, hyper expressive but also hyper personal, and then John Williams, which is like a little more true to what the music should sound like. I don't know. I think both are good though, and I'm glad that Julian Bream recordings exist. But you'll find the more opinionated people get about how classical guitar and like music should be played, the more they'll hate the sort of characters that have come from classical guitar. And Julian Bream is a character of characters, so he's you know, hated by a lot, loved by many more, mainly loved by people who aren't super into classical guitar and just enjoy the passion and expression, which, you know, is kind of the whole point of music if you think about it. But yeah, did any of that make sense? Sorry about that. I don't know. This one's good. This one's from Cameron Icon. Be honest, are you the most famous person in the masterclass? Not only am I the most famous person in the masterclass, but it is so apparent that I know that fact when I show up in there. Like, I'm not nice to anybody. I am a piece of shit in that class. But when I go to play, I still get insanely nervous, and then I fumble and fail in front of everybody. So any sort of credibility or fame or anything that I had is completely washed away by me being just an incompetent little quivering baby. Hey, this one is about the AI practice log that I made last time, where I like talked about AI for a second, and also footstools. From Potatoes. The silver lining with AI slop infecting everything is that it might put a premium on authentic human-made art / music / service. I don't know. AI is cool. It's cool, especially if you're like doing something kind of specialized and you just need help. Like say that you need help with just like how do you format a cover letter or something like that. AI is really great for that stuff because it'll just give you a format and it's like boom, there it is. There's also something really beautiful and I think underappreciated about human brain slop. And because so much AI slop is being uploaded, I definitely encourage anybody to just upload your brain slop. What is that exactly? It could be an hour-long improv practice guitar session. Just upload it, you know? Like, obviously, we have no standards and scrutiny for anything anymore, so just upload you being a freaking human being, just to at least pollute with like actual stuff instead of AI stuff. Something I like doing that's fun, I haven't done it since grad school, but I did it before I left grad school, is just like jamming with a friend with the intention of like, we're gonna release this as an album, cut it up, like find the songs in there. I feel like that's so much more meaningful than just generating an album on Suno or something. And it's just this like AI music. Human brain slop is so much more beautiful and like personal, you know? In fact, it's so personal that most of us don't want to release it because we're like embarrassed of it, because I think a lot can be revealed in you just rambling in front of a camera. So I encourage you to just do the same thing. Do it with music or whatever medium you want. Just make it low effort and just put it out there, and that's how you can sort of balance the weight. I think that's enough talking for now. I'm gonna go ahead and play BWV997 for you. Let me know what you think. I'm just gonna play the first half or so. I know, I hate having the sheet music too. It really takes you out of it. I'm fingering it. I know you've heard up to there so many times. I'm so sorry. The next time I play it, I'm going to play the entire thing for you. It might take a week or two, but I'm almost done fingering the entire thing. But I don't know, that's sort of a taste of what it'll be like. It's a pretty cool piece. I really like this one. And then next, of course, is the fugue. Whoa. I forget if I mentioned this, but this suite, 997, I'll probably play in my recital. So, you know, I should probably get on, like, learning all of it. Yeah. Alright, so that's where we're at. Alright, I think that pretty much covers everything for this practice log. So, let's go ahead and wrap it up here. Hey, you know, if you made it this far, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. And of course, if you have any comment questions about anything that I just said, feel free to post them. I look through especially the practice log videos, because that's where the questions really are. All the other videos are just, like, stupid, dumb comments that nobody ever needs to read. Go ahead and leave some of those too, though. That's always fun. Of course, head on down over to Rootin's Delight for some merch. My email's in the description as usual, so you can always reach out to me. That's usually for taking on new students, but I'm kind of taking a break from that. And of course, there's Patreon, there's the member section. I have some live stream ideas. That's coming later, though. Alright, well, I got a bunch of stuff I have to do today, including practice. That's the other thing to do. I've already practiced for an hour today, though. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.